Hello, my Aquarius friends. How's it going today? Let me know in the comments. All right, let's see. Before we get started, or while we get started, we can start pulling. It's all good. Um, while we get started, a couple little disclaimers here for those who haven't heard it. Time is an illusion. It flows pretty freely and it works a lot differently than how we think of it in our human form, okay? So, just because this reading is dated for the 25th and intended for the week of the 25th of March, that doesn't mean that that's when it's meant for you, okay? So if you're coming across this in 3 months or 3 weeks or what have you, feel free to take a listen. Even if you did listen on the 25th or on a different day or whatever, if it's coming up for you again, maybe you just need to hear the message again, okay? Or a message. Oftentimes there are many messages within these readings. So, maybe there's something that you didn't hear the first time. I don't know. The other disclaimer is that these readings cannot and will not ever be for everyone. So, yes, this reading is for Aquarius. And under that umbrella, even if we were just looking at sun signs, and I'm welcoming anyone that wants to see this, right? Sun, moon, rising, Venus, whoever. But under that umbrella, there's a lot of people. So, take what does resonate with you. Don't try to make it fit. And also, I'm not for everyone. I'm not going to take it personally, okay? Just move on. Find someone that does resonate with you. If you do like my style, whether or not this message resonates with you, feel free to send me an email. My information is in the description. Yeah, send me an email and we can work out a personal reading, okay? I am new to YouTube, so as long as I am new to YouTube, not real sure how long I'm going to be running the special, but there are some specials going on. I'm doing like a half off deal, so you can kind of get to know me, get to feel out my reading style, see if our energies click, that kind of thing, if you're interested. If not, totally cool. These readings are free 99. I'll be doing them at least once weekly, and I also have daily readings that I'll be doing. So if you like it, subscribe, comment, share, hit that notification bell if you want to see when I'm live. I love vibing off your guys' energies and seeing your guys' comments. So yeah. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started. I do have 5 cards out for the first part of the spread. I use just a regular card deck, a playing card deck for now. I'm waiting for my other tarot cards to get here. So until that happens, what I do is I read this little subset to see if, see what's going on with the energies that I'm vibing with those people. And that'll kind of give you an idea of if this message is specifically geared towards you and your situation. If not, you might still vibe with the message. That's whatever, right? But let's go ahead and dive in anyways. We do have 2 jacks out, so whatever, we'll get into that a little bit later. But the first one that's here is the Jack of Pentacles. So as a person, with these face cards, especially in Pentacles, the Jack of Pentacles, I often see is like, it could be like a young, immature kind of person who's independent and impulsive, and they're very intelligent and sometimes like intuitive and things like that. But I just got like a bull in a china shop, right? So it could just be that they're like excited about life, and they are, they're so excited that they just take action in all these different directions, and that's how they come off as a bull in a china shop. Or it could be that they are embodying like that reckless behavior, right? I don't feel like this is you. I feel like this is more someone around you who might be causing you some strife. So I don't know if that's like a kid in your life or just a younger person in general. It doesn't even have to be younger, right? Just someone who's like less mature or immature. But I feel like they're a big source of stress for you, or they cause a lot of stress for you, okay? So take that as it is. Let's go on to the next card. We have the 8 of Pentacles, and this is my little signification, my little symbol for being in the reverse. So, the 8 of Pentacles in reverse. Now, 8 you know, I see a lot of times 8 has to do with like movement, and sometimes it's going really quickly and things like that. With reversals, I like to read it as like a block, or, you know, quite literally, sometimes it can just be the opposite of that. So, I don't know what your situation is, but it's like finances are maybe at a standstill, or they are just moving a lot more slowly than you'd like them to, right? So I don't know if you started a business where you're like really wanting to see these things happen and you're really pumped about it, but you're not really seeing the return yet. You're not seeing a profit. That's okay sometimes, okay? It doesn't mean that you're necessarily doing anything wrong. There may be something that um, you may need to look at and see if you can change something to, you know, get on that profitable track. But it just depends. Like, like I said, some kind of block here that's keeping you from progressing. So it could be that, if you're so focused on your pentacles, on your financial situation, on your material goods, things like that, um, a lot of times that can keep us from going any higher. If you're focused so much on your profit, you kind of lose sight of the bigger picture. Okay, so in the example of having your own business, if you are so focused on your your profits, you're missing the point of having your own business, right? Yes, a lot of people do start their own businesses to have some kind of financial freedom, or, some people have this grandiose idea that like you make a ton of money when you work for yourself. If you're that person who is in it just for that, you're in for a rude awakening, because that's not what business ownership is about, okay? Um, I myself have been there. I've gone into it with that idea, not the sole idea, but definitely, that was an idea at the time, and it doesn't get you anywhere. If that's your main focus, you're going to stay stuck, okay? And I mean, you're the 8 of Pentacles, so eights, that's not a bad thing. It's not like you're just starting out. It's not like you have pennies to your name or anything like that. It's just that you're stuck, okay? You need to look beyond the profits. You need to look beyond just the money or the material things. Look at, how are you helping people? What kind of service are you providing? And are you providing top-notch service? Are you actually doing your best? What you're putting out into the world, is that something that you would pay for, that you would pay high top dollar for, or whatever your whatever kind of compensation that you're looking for? Is it up to the caliber of what you're trying to draw in? You know, if you're wanting to sell a course for $1,000 a piece per person, um, is it worth that? You know, or did you just make up a course in the last 24 hours that's kind of a bundle of shit that it might only be worth like 50 cents, right? Be real with yourself. Maybe take a step back and see what's going on there. Um, I'm going to move on from that message. I feel like that's only for a subset of you, but that's an important message to hear. It's not all about profits, and make sure what you are putting out there is worth its value that that you're seeking, okay? The next one is also in reverse. It is the 7 of Swords. So, you know, especially paired with everything else so far, I feel like you've been in your head a lot. You've been thinking a lot. And yeah, it's beautiful, because it's like in reverse, that's your block, right? You've been thinking about the wrong things. Now, 7 in particular means like a change. Um, so yeah, what you are needing is a change in your thoughts. Okay. Just, it's going along really smoothly here. So I'm just going to keep going. Um, the next one here, I'm not going to beat a dead horse, right? The next one out is the Jack of Wands. So this is in the realm of like creativity and taking action, maybe like creative solutions is what I'm hearing. So if this is a business or an entrepreneurial type of thing, in your reassessment, in your rethinking of things, you might just need to come up with some some new ideas, some fresh ideas that can push you towards where you need to go, you know. Um, I don't know. And again, I mean there's two jacks out. So a lot of times jacks are, yeah, they are that like immature or younger type of energy. This jack I do feel like is you. So, you know, if that part of it isn't resonating with you, it could just be, you know, that you're like, you are that ambitious person, you're enthusiastic about what you're doing, you have this vision for your future, and you are a hardworking individual, okay? Jacks, you know, they're kind of like knights in the sense that they are slow moving, um, and that's okay, especially when you're starting businesses and things like that. Um, it's okay to be slow moving in life, right? uh, it gives you time to really see your mistakes and see what's behind them so that you don't have to make them in the future. It gives you time to readjust without having to be in a rush. Um, it sometimes just gives you a little bit of extra time and space within yourself to dive in and see what you're all about. You know, we change constantly, and sometimes we don't take the time to make sure that we're up to date with ourselves. So for some of you, that's all you need to hear in this message is like you need to reset and kind of get to know yourself again and touch base. Okay? I feel like that's kind of important for everyone watching. So, touch base, see who you are, see what's no longer serving you and let that go, and then, you know, kind of reposition into a life that is more suited for who you are now, is what I'm hearing. Okay? And for who you want to grow into. That's a big deal too. Part of going in is seeing who you want to progress into being. So, yeah. Final card out in this part of the spread is the Three of Pentacles. So, three can sometimes be about balance and cooperation. So with these two jacks here, like I said, I don't feel like this first one was you, but this one is. So maybe it's that these two people, you and this other person, are needing to come into cooperation. Maybe there's a new cooperation that's kind of building between you. And even though they have been a source of, I want to say like pain or contention in the past, there's something between you guys now. And again, I'm feeling this in the business sense, like maybe a partnership or something where it's like, I don't want to say like a common enemy because it's not in a negative. It's not an enemy. It's a common goal. That's what it is. Um, so, so you kind of have to work at that. Okay. And I say you have to work at it because this is in the reverse. So yes, there's what am I trying to say? There is an opportunity for this connection and this balanced sharing of whatever this common goal is with you guys. And if you can find and strike that balance, you're going to go very far, okay? But there's a block here. There's something that's keeping you guys from being really in that balance and striking that connection. So, you know, a lot of times, and what I'm feeling for you guys right now with this card is that whether it's one of you or both of you, there is ego involved. And that's really what's getting in the way of your guys' connection and your guys' harmony. So most often it's coming from both sides. It's not a one or the other. You can't just push this off on them and say, well, it's all their fault. No. You likely have some work to do in that area as well. And the only person that we can control is ourselves, right? So that's what you can work on is yourself. Work on letting go of that ego a little bit. You know, step away from yourself and see how the situation as a whole would be served best, okay? Um yeah, dive into that a bit and see where you can go. Okay, we're going to leave that part of the reading. For that first part, like I said, I was just kind of setting the tone and getting things started. This second part, the second deck I have is an Archangel Guidance deck. And what I use this for is, just like it says, getting guidance from our spirits, from our, you know, however you want to put it. If you have a specific deity that you pray to, if you have spiritual guides, like we all do, but it just kind of depends on your beliefs, right? So whatever it is, the collective higher energy is guiding us in these cards. They're giving us some push to where we might do better in life and how, okay? How we can work on it personally in our lives. So we have one out. I usually go for about 3. Let's see what we can get here. What the spirits have for us, because it's not always 3, right? So let's see. What do you guys got going on today? Even if you're not watching on the date that I'm filming this, let me know in the comments how life is going. If I was, you know, spot on any of that in the first part, you know, that, like I said, sometimes that part can be a little bit particular, but hopefully the messages coming up will help regardless. Sometimes that first message is just to reach out to the people that need it and kind of give them a good shake. Like, yes, this is for you. And there are others of us that'll watch the videos and continue through, even if at first it doesn't seem like it, right? Because we're like, well, maybe later there is a message that will serve me. And that is true every once in a while. Okay, we got 3, so let's go ahead with that and see what Spirit has to say. Okay, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, so we have perspective as the first card that came out. The archangel on there is Archangel Chamuel, Chamuel. Probably saying that wrong. Okay, I'll look it up at one point and figure out how to say these things. But for now, Spirit's really been like, get these messages out. So I'm just doing it. Okay. Correct me if you'd like to, but I promise I will figure this stuff out. So this card in particular says, there's a better way. Pause for reflection and insight. See? Yes. Dare to be different. Okay. So part of your ego and part of what might be holding you back, and this applies to a lot of us, so don't take this personally at all. But a lot of us, you know, we want to fit in. We want to be normal. You know, we want what everyone else wants, perceivedly. Dare to be different. What you have in your heart is unique. So both in the sense of what you want in this world and how you can contribute to this world, and you know, what you can do while you're here. So even if all you do is, you know, you want to get married and you want to live a humble life and you just want to make enough to, you know, live comfortably and, you know, whatever, that's still a beautiful life, right? And it might just take for you to look at things a little bit differently and not be afraid to not be like everyone else in order to achieve that. Okay. You know, maybe you've been stuck in this one particular corporate job for a while and you've been thinking about this shift into business or entrepreneurial lifestyle type things. And, but you're so afraid because you're like, well, this corporate job is at least, you know, paying the bills and it does allow me to have a comfortable life outside of the job, even if the job is like in a living hell, you know. Don't settle for that. If your worry is about being normal and achieving the status quo, you'll only get so far, okay? Don't get me wrong, some people can do very well through that. But what I've seen is when you can connect to who you actually are and really live out loud with being yourself 100%, that's when you're going to be happiest. And that does not always, it very rarely looks just normal, what we expect normal to be, or average or anything like that. So dare to be yourself 100% all the time, okay? Or as much as possible. Like, All the time is a lot for our human brains, but as much as possible, okay? The next two cards are both cards of Ariel, and Ariel has to do with pentacles. So, we did have three different cards of pentacles in the first part of our reading as well. So I'm feeling like, I'm centering, I'm keep coming back to business and stuff like that, but I feel like there's an overarching theme in your life right now where the focus is on, or will soon be on, money and the material things in your life and your career or job or whatever you have going on in that realm. um so that's fine. Let's see what these cards of guidance have to say for us. The first one is the Queen of Ariel. Okay, she's surrounded by greenery and flowers, and she this one kind of reminds me of like Belle from Beauty and the Beast. She's this really beautiful yellow gown on. The chandelier is all lit. Um, Whatever. It says, nurture yourself and those you love. The ability to make anything more beautiful. Practical and wise advice. Okay, so yeah, the nurture yourself part is the part that's sticking out the most. Again, dare to be different. Connect with yourself. Maybe you need to, you know, again, like maybe you just need to reconnect with who you actually are in order to move forward, right? Um, and once you reconnect with who you are, you really can do a better job of nurturing yourself and understanding and meeting your own needs. Okay. um Practical and wise advice. I feel like you might be coming into some practical and wise advice, especially if you're starting a business or something like that, or maybe taking a promotion or whatever the case may be in this realm. um so for that piece of it, you need to stay open. Okay. A lot of times these opportunities will come towards us and we'll totally miss it. We won't even know that it's there because we're so closed off. We're so stuck in our thoughts of this life that we're already living is fine, when it's not, but we tell ourselves it is because that's more comfortable. Okay. Take that as you will. The last card in this part of the spread that I have is Six of Ariel. So again, with the pentacles, six, this one says material needs get fulfilled in magical and unexpected ways. Acts of kindness, giving or receiving with a grateful heart. So with that, if you are afraid of taking that next step because of what it might mean for, if you feel like you might have to take a pay cut or not take a, a paycheck for a while, especially when starting a new business or stepping into something entrepreneurial, because you don't always have to start a business, right? But something entrepreneurial, um, a lot of times we do have to go a little while without a paycheck, or that can seem very daunting, even if it's not, even if there's so many bonuses in the first month or 3 months or whatever that makes it sustainable. There's always on the horizon that you don't have that steady paycheck, that I don't know, but that can be a source of worry for a lot of people. And what they're saying is, don't worry about that. Take the leap, because it's already taken care of. That harvest is already there. It's already set in stone for you. It's already predestined. Even if you do go through, a hard month or sometimes even a hard year or whatever, um, try not to let your worries carry you away, because it says material needs get fulfilled in magical and unexpected ways. If you just stay open to the fact that it's already taken care of, it is, and you'll be fine. Okay. When those worries do come in, just counter it with this thought that no, like, we're okay. Everything that needs to be paid for is already taken care of. If for some reason you come across a situation where, maybe you are a little bit short that month on things that you need, you'll find a way to make it happen. Okay. Where there's a will, there's a way. And this card is just reinforcing that idea. So So if you do decide to take this leap, and to do that, you're going to have that perspective, and really really step into this decision. So if you do decide to make that decision, I'm seeing that it's going to be fruitful for you, and it's going to work out. It might not be right away, and it might be a roller coaster, because that's how life is, okay? The problems come when we expect something different. The problems come when we expect that either it's just going to be a solid struggle the whole entire time, or that it's just going to be sunshines and rainbows all the time. Either way, it's kind of a trap. You have to stay open to the ebbs and flows of life, okay? And then you'll be fine. So yeah, so stay with that. Take that however it resonates with you, and move forward. That's all. This last deck that I like to use is called Dear Universe by Sarah Prout. On my other reads before, I have talked about her and how, I really appreciate her as a spiritual leader. She talks about manifestation and the power of law of attraction and things like that. So, oh my gosh, you guys, I can't make this up. If you like this particular card, or, the way that it's laid out, I personally love to use these every morning. So, feel free to seek her out. Sarah Prout is her name, and she's just amazing. She has a new book coming out, all of that jazz. So check her out if you resonate with this, okay? This card says, Dear Universe, may I remember my cosmic power to attract limitless and soulful prosperity. So let's go over what we've done here. The first set of cards is about you, is about your situation, potentially. Not necessarily, right? But it's to draw in those people that are maybe a little bit more skeptical, or who need that reassurance that either this message is or is not for them, okay? This second bit of cards is about some guidance for those people still listening, about what they might be able to do in their lives to push forward and to have a more fulfilling life, okay? And this third bit, I like to put as a focus, okay? So you have the where you're at, you have the how you might get there, and now you have a focus for moving forward. Okay, and I like to hold it up in case you want to pause it, and if you need to write it down or whatever, you can say this affirmation or this prayer, or however you want to look at it, over and over and over and over again, as many times as you'd like. I feel like this really goes along with your reading and can really help you to focus on the positive things in life, instead of allowing your perspective to be dragged back into those negative things. Because if you have that negative mindset, that's what you will attract, and that's what you will see more of in your life, okay? If your mind goes into a negative space, just come back here, okay? One more time, this card says, Dear Universe, may I remember my cosmic power to attract limitless and soulful prosperity. So be it, so it is. Yes, my friends, you have prosperity coming your way. You just have to take that leap if you want to. If you don't, that's perfectly fine too. But know that if you do decide to take the leap, there is that potential for really, really great prosperity payoff, however you want to look at it, okay? Great things are coming to you, my friend. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate you all being here, and I hope to see you again. If you liked this, please do like, share, comment, strike that notification bell, and YouTube will let you know when I'm going live again. I plan to do it every single day for at least, a daily read for the signs, and then I'll do at least one weekly read for the signs as well.